Good morning, Year 10. It is the 1st of July, the beginning of a new month. Well, for me, it's still the 30th of June because it's the night before. But for you, it is the 1st of July and the beginning of a new month. And indeed, the last month of this school year. It's amazing how quickly it's come around. So, I guess by now, almost normal is the chance for a quiz. And unfortunately, it's the last one they're going to produce this academic year, presumably waiting until September to do the next. Now, I think that's a bit of a cop-out personally. I think there's 2 weeks of term they haven't yet covered. And they covered the holidays too. Or rather, no, they didn't. They didn't cover the holidays. Scandal. Utter scandal. I guess that means I'll have to come up with something myself. Ugh. Ugh. Anywho, in the meantime, here is the quiz, which is the thing that we do and that happens. So, as usual, just to say, I haven't seen the questions in advance. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I'm beginning to think increasingly it's just a lack of preparation on my part. Nevertheless, here we go. It is the weekly end-of-year review quiz. Sorry, weekly quiz end-of-year review, same diff. And it was from June the 29th, or the 29th of June for those of you that live in this particular country. Now, this means most of the questions, as you know with these reviews, are referring back to questions they've already set. So theoretically, we should sail through and get 20 out of 20, especially if you, Kenzie, actually give me some answers because I know you've been watching every single one of these videos. You too, Tia. And Emily, I haven't heard anything from you. And while I'm on the subject, I haven't heard anything for a while from some of you, but I know you've been in school, so fair play, fair play. Okay, here goes nothing. Question 1. The cover of British passports will return, I mean, it wasn't there for very long, to being navy blue for the first time in 30 years. It's worth pointing out we could have done this at any time and remain part of Europe. Europe don't have a thing about what colour your passport is. What colour have British passports been for the last 3 decades? Is it A, forest green, B, burgundy, or C, black? Question 2. What long-standing athletics record was broken in term 1? Can you remember back that far? That was like before Christmas. That was like a decade ago. Is it A, the first person to throw a javelin more than 100 meters? B, the first person to run a marathon in under 2 hours? Imagine, with loads of people. Or C, the first person to high jump more than 3 meters? Imagine sporting events with spectators. Question 3. Leaders across Europe marked the 75th anniversary of VE Day earlier this term. Well, yeah, sort of. What is VE Day? Is it the end of the First World War, World War I? Is it B, the date in 1945 when the Nazis surrendered? Why have they put an apostrophe there? This offends my sensibilities. Or C, the date when the UK joined the European Union? Question 4. What is the name of this famous British Second World War plane? Is it A, a Hurricane, B, a Spitfire, or C, a Meteor? I don't know why it's silver. I'm assuming because it's the 75th anniversary and there's something to do with silver. I don't know. I'm assuming. That's a complete assumption. Coming second? I don't know. 2 Second World War questions, one after the other. A theme. Question 5. There has been a lot of talk about PPE during the coronavirus pandemic. Really? What does PPE stand for? Well, given that about 8 of you got this right the first time round, I'm going to assume that everyone's going to get this right this time round. I don't know, you might not do. It has been a while since it's been in the news, I suppose. Question 6. Donald Trump admitted that he took, now past tense, hydroxychloroquine, which had not gone through proper clinical trials as a COVID-19 preventative. Well, it kind of had, but they were so dangerous because they were killing people that they halted the trials. So although the trials were never completed, I think we can reasonably say it didn't do what it was supposed to do. It does, however, save people with a disease called lupus. And the sudden rush on stocks in the US meant that people with lupus, which is an actual disease that kills people, were unable to get it. Some of them being sent wonderfully insensitive letters saying things like, "Thank you for your sacrifice." What has the drug been? What's the drug been used for in the past? Lupus was the one I mentioned, so there are other diseases. Is it A, preventing measles, B, preventing and treating malaria, or C, treating asthma? It sucks to your asthma. That's an English teacher joke that I don't think any of you are going to get because it's based on William Golding's Lord of the Flies, which I think I said the first time around with this question, come to think of it. It occurs to me you can just go back to the questions and the answers on previous quizzes. Question 7. Which billionaire sold a stake in Virgin Galactic to raise $500 million to prop up his other businesses? Is it A, Bill Gates, B, Jeff Bezos, or C, Richard Branson? Question 8. What was the name given to this spacecraft? That's not a spacecraft. They're astronauts. I think they mean the bit on the outside, the bit that contains them. Was it A, the Falcon, B, the Eagle, or C, the Endeavour? None of which sound like Star Trek names, which is a shame, because everything should sound a little bit more like Star Trek names. That's a geek joke, which none of you will get, because, yeah, I'm old. Question 9. In early May, and geeky, after recovering from COVID-19, what did Boris Johnson announce? We should do his full name, Alexander de Pfeffel Boris Johnson. A, he was demoting his Deputy Prime Minister, Dominic Raab. Or B, the arrival of his baby, I assume from a long journey because it took a while. Or C, he only plans to remain in politics until the next election. Question 10. What is the name of the South Korean film that made Oscar history earlier in the year by becoming the first non-English language film to win Best Picture? Was it A, Parasite, B, Paradise, or C, Paralegal? So that's Alien, Coldplay, Legally Blonde? I don't know, is that a joke I can even make? Question 11. Well, I just made it. Whether or not it's funny is another thing entirely. Which country quit its membership, left the World Health Organization earlier this month? Was it this month? Goodness me, it seems like years ago. Was it A, China? Was it B, the United States of America? Or was it C, the Commonwealth of Independent States, commonly known as Russia? Question 12. In which US city did the mayor have this street sign painted, literally a sign on the street, whilst also increasing funding for the police and allowing them to buy a tank? Was it A, Minneapolis, B, Chicago, or C, Washington in the District of Columbia? Question 13. Some of the biggest names in music joined forces from their homes in April to celebrate healthcare workers in a globally televised concert. I remember I should have known this and I still got it wrong. What was the name of the concert? Was it A, Together at Home, B, Together Alone, or C, Together Forever? All of them sound like, sort of poppy hits from the early 90s and early aughts, probably by the Spice Girls. Most things were by the Spice Girls. Question 14. In term 1, goodness me, we're back before Christmas again. A special event was held in Evesham to bring together men who share the same name. Can you imagine people getting together now? Where's the social distancing, eh? As fewer and fewer boys were being given that name each year. In fact, last year, only 8 UK babies in 2018, well, that is last year, were given the name. How? Given the name ... question mark. Right, okay, I'll let them off. The grammar is appalling, but it works. Is it A, Oscar? Is it B, Nigel? Or is it C, Trevor? Because I have to say them in silly voices, apparently. Question 15. I have noticed, by the way, that I keep flicking my eyes down. Don't think that's gone without notice from me as well. I am very sorry. I've also noticed that my eyes have been half-lidded because I've been tired. I'm trying very hard not to do that. We'll see how we go. Sorry, question 15. In a promising step for the future, the world's largest fully electric plane conducted a successful flight last month. Apart from the pilot, how many passengers can it take? And do stress, this isn't going to be commercially viable. The idea is it shows proof of concept with particular engines and weight of aircraft. So you just make more electric engines and run an electric plane that is the size of a 747. Was it A, 0? Was it B, 3? Or was it C, 9? I'll be honest, I honestly can't remember. Because being honest, obviously I'm going to honestly not remember. Question 16. Which organization has this flag? Flat Earth confirmed. Absolutely not. Ugh. Question 17. What did Donald Trump recently say he was doing to decrease the numbers of people testing positive for COVID-19? Oh, this is a new one. Is it A, he was going to make wearing masks in public compulsory across the US? Is it B, he was going to ban all public gatherings? Or was it C, he's telling his people to carry out less tests? I mean, that would reduce the amount of positive tests, wouldn't it, really, if you did less of them? Question 18. What is the name of the world's largest marathon event that was cancelled only last week? I must assume that's correct. Is it A, the New York City Marathon? New York City Marathon. You don't know the Pet Shop Boys song that I'm butchering. Sorry, Gabby. I actually sang. At this point, I'm no longer talking to Gabby. She shut off in disgust, like a normal person. Is it B, the London Marathon? Or is it C, the Paris Marathon. Did we really need marathon at the end of each of those? Question 19. Scientists have recently discovered the deepest point on land. Where did they find land that was 3.5 kilometers, 11,500 feet below sea level? That's nearly 6,000 of me. No, wait, is it? It's nearly 2,000 of me. Well, it's 2,000 and a bit of me. 2,000 and some of me. Is it A, Antarctica, B, the Middle East, or C, Central Asia? Final question. This man has raised a lot of money in Britain. It's sad that he felt he had to, really. And it's sad that we're relying on that. What was his first fundraising effort? Was it A, performing 100 skydives, B, walking 100 laps around his house, or C, swimming 100 lengths of a pool? Can you remember swimming? I remember swimming. That was a thing we used to do in the before times. So, you now have all of the questions, all of which, I think, apart from maybe one, were questions we've had before. So you know the drill by now. You send me the answers on Show My Homework. You don't have to answer all the questions. You can just submit the ones you know or the ones you want to take part in. I realise by saying take part in, that means that, I'm sorry, Emily is instantly shut off. Sorry, Emily, I know you watch these. I know you like them. It's your guilty pleasure. Oh, God, no, not like that. But I've lost the train of thought. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you know the drill by now. You can submit answers as you wish, or as you don't. And I can't force you. It's not like I can come and force you to fill any answers in. It would be nice to hear from you, nevertheless. This is the last quiz of this year. The last video that I'll be producing of quizzes. Like I say, I'll have to come up with something else for Wednesday next week and the final Wednesday. I don't know what I'll do. I'm sure I'll think of something. Oh, maybe if you don't want to do the answer to the quiz, you can tell me what I should replace this with. Don't say just, like a cardboard cutout or something like that. That's quite cruel, but actually quite a funny idea. I don't own a cardboard cutout. Oh, hang on, Mr. Walsh. That would be amazing. One day I'll have to own a cardboard cutout, but I think he's kind of cornered the market on that one. Anyway. Thank you, if you have been, for watching. Enjoy your day. Stay safe out there. There'll be another video, obviously, on Thursday. And Friday will be the answer to the quiz, which I'll try and film in school because it's still a bit weird that you're seeing this wall. Though I guess by now it's getting kind of normal. As normal as I ever get. Have a lovely day. Stay safe, Year 10, and I shall see you around. The Standard End.